connect the line. Profits calling, it's my time. Precision move, sharp and clean. Living life on this money machine. Scalping seconds, slicing fast. Ride the wave, don't let it pass. Green and red, they set the tone. Win or lose, I'm in the zone. Trade the dots, connect the line. Profits calling, it's my time. Precision moves, sharp and clean. Living life on this money machine. Every tick's a heartbeat loud. High stakes play, I'm feeling proud. Risk and thrill, it's all the same. One more trade to up my game. Pivots turn, I'm locked and sure. Cut the losses, keep it pure. Every trend, I see the clues. I'll ride the highs and dodge the blues. Trade the dots, connect the line. Profits calling, it's my time. Precision moves, sharp and clean. Living life on this money machine. Eyes locked on the glowing screen. Numbers flash like a fever dream. Charts align like stars in space. Fingers twitch, it's a digital race. Trade the dots, connect the line. Profits calling, it's my time. Precision move, sharp and clean. Living life on this money machine. Scalping seconds, slicing fast. Ride the wave, don't let it pass. Green and red, they set the tone. Win or lose, I'm in the zone.
Good morning, guys. Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing? Give me a sound check. Let me know if you guys hear me okay, if everything is good, if the video is good. Looks good to me, but I want to make sure everybody's seeing everything. Say hi to me in the in chat. We are just starting, so we'll give it a few seconds to let everybody come in. actually have a tiny little counter trend sell signal setting up. Even as we're starting right here, I got 49 seconds on a short Nasdaq trade. First of all, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to our show. I've been away for a whole week in Cyprus. I'm back. Next week I'm going to be in Florida, but I'll be broadcasting from there, so it'll be really good. No gaps in trading. I had a lot of interesting fun in Cyprus. I actually managed to I'm like $200 away from one account, and as you can see in this account, we're trying to run this one to 26.5. We're only about $500 away from trading here. So I'm going to share a whole bunch of stuff with you today. It's have fun Friday, or just ask me anything Friday as we're trading. Let me just get myself organized here on this trade. 5 seconds left. I'm going to take this trade, see if this works. Okay. All right. Short on this one on Nasdaq. This is a little bit of a unique or a little bit of a different approach that I've been doing on counter trend trades. Those of you guys who are new, I'm going to walk you through the whole setup of what we do here, but I'm just kind of, everybody who's in the room here with me, I'm just diving into trades as we start. So, and I'll explain all of this in a lot more detail with you guys in a second. So the idea is we trade primarily trend and a little bit counter trend. And there are like 3 different components to every single trade that we want to take, including trend, momentum, and slope as far as numbers go. Well, one of the things that I sort of started doing on a counter trend basis, only on a counter trend basis, is actually take trades that have probably less probability, or sort of maybe I would probably say they may have less probability of success on the initial trade, but if you get them right, they're very, very quickly resolved. So in this case, I'm actually probably going to get myself stopped on this trade. Yeah, it looks like I am. Jesus, this one is just totally not working. But the idea being is that we used to look for 2 dot confirmation of 2 red dots in a row to get ourselves a confirmation. And I started taking just the first signal dot trade. In this case, I think the trend here is really, really strong to the upside. So we are going to reconfigure ourselves completely here to the opposite trade if it gives us a setup. The counter trend trade that I tried, my first trade of the day, didn't work. It's okay. One of the things you're going to see as I start trading with you guys this week is the chance to trade both conservatively and aggressively. Like today, we're going to trade very conservatively, in a sense that we're going to trade conservative and aggressive. Trading boils down to just one simple thing: size, right? I mean, trade selection should always be conservative, meaning that you should only trade the setup that you meant to trade. The only variance in versus conservative to aggressive trading is actually size. So we're going to trade a little bit of conservative today, just with tiny sizes, to give ourselves greater chance of success and sort of lower chance of absolute failure. Because whenever you're doing super aggressive trading, you're always setting yourself up for a blowout risk. Yep, first loss of the day got clipped on a, it's an experimental trade, so you're always going to get tricked. And as I said to you, this is actually, it's an interesting thing, because I think it's signaling, at least it looks to be signaling, a pretty strong uptrend in Nasdaq to comp. The fact that we just completely got blown out on this. So if we get the next trade that we're looking for, a green trade to the upside. If we get a green trade like right here, right now, and as a matter of fact, I'm going to on this particular trade, I'm going to try to repair my size. I'm going to try to repair this trade by getting larger size. Again, I'm super small, so even if this trade fails, I still have lots of opportunity to repair this trade. This is the difference between trading conservatively and trading aggressively. It's not the setup. It's not rushing the setup. It's trading smaller size. So 2 dots setting up over here. This is a buy setup for us. We're ready to go. 18 seconds to go. If this dot holds on the close, got to hold on the close. I'm not pulling the trigger until and unless the candle closes. It's got to go to 0 seconds and stay a green dot in order for me to make it a viable trade. So I just put my finger on the buy market here. All right, good. And I'm long. So we're long here. The target is going to be 59.75 on this upside trade. Let's see if that gives us a chance here. What is it? 59.75. Is that my target? Yeah, something like that. We're so high up on the chart you can't even see it. But let's see. 50. What is my? I can't even see it. 59.75 over there. Yeah, 59.75. So we need to hit that. $60. Well, went through and we got done, right? So as I told you, the really cool part about this setup, by the way, is that generally the trade that fails, not always, but generally, also gives you great information about the next possible setup. If you start having that kind of approach to your stops and targets, you're going to be a lot healthier in terms of being able to trade. You see, it took us all of whopping 2 minutes to completely repair this trade and get that trade back because we're able to read the market really, really, really well. Because a dot framework, which is the framework that I work with, is really the cornerstone of how we're going to pass the prop. Trade the dot, beat the odds, pass the prop. That's the motto for us. If you guys want to do that, QR scan this code over here, and come join me. I'll put a link in here as well to come join me over here. 55. The cool thing about this is that not only are you going to get be able to pass the Prompt Academy with me, but I'm going to buy you a couple of free accounts. As if you join this deal, I will give you a couple of free accounts in Apex with my friends at Apex, which are still running, by the way, a massive discount. So make sure you guys get Apex accounts. We prefer wealth charts, but you can get them Tradeovate as well. You see, the wealth charts platform is really, really cool. It marks all of our trades, so you can actually see the whole progress of my trading. I'm gonna keep it like this, I think, unless it gets a little bit messy. But I think this is pretty cool. You guys can see the chart pretty well here in terms of seeing the history and the trackability of all my trades. Now I got to do you guys. Amuse yourself for just 1 minute because I want to do off screen. I got to do a couple of things here. Let me just see if there's anything. Oh, you missed me. Oh, you're so nice. You're so nice. Oh, Fabio's like, Fabio, you're the man. Fabio, did you, Fabio just posted this, but hang on a second. He says having best trading day ever, 22 wins, 0 losses. Luckily avoided possible double loss in a row during lunch. That's it. We'll talk about that, actually. Let's talk about that in just a second. Just give me a sec, guys. I want to do just one thing off camera here. So it gives me, additional information. Just 1 second here, guys. Bear with me. Alerts. I wanted to do counter. Buy sequence alert. Once per bar. Create. Bear with me. Sell sequence alert. Once per bar. Create. And okay. Sorry, just one more thing, guys. Just bear with me. I'm just trying to set up stuff for gold here, so that if we get a chance to trade gold, we can do that. Counter trend buy, once per bar create, and alert. Counter trend sell, once per bar create. Okay. All right. I got myself all set up on gold as well. And what's going on here? Okay. So we actually have. I missed this trade, which I'm kind of glad because again, it would have been a false signal, I think. But you see this little red dot? What time is it? Well, my rule of thumb is I shouldn't be trading 5 minutes beforehand anyways, so I'm not going to. But this would have been another relatively weak counter trend sell signal. You see, like if we go over here, this is a red dot in a trend, very, very strong trend based format. Now, why am I taking counter trend sells like on the first signal versus the second signal? Well, because up to now, today may be a day where that really changes a lot. The counter trend signal, the quicker you get into it, the quicker you get out of it, usually tends to work better. Meaning that the very nature of counter trend is it's rarely going to be a continuation to the downside, right? It's just going to be a short sell-off. So if you're going to take counter trend trades, the rule of thumb basically is that you should take as few counter trend trades as possible. But if you're going to take them, you take them quickly on the first bounce instead of the second bounce, right? Meantime, we have a. Why don't I have a buy sequence? How is that a buy sequence? Hold on a second. Am I seeing a red? I don't see a NQU. Oh, there we are. Oh. I was like, how am I forgot the green dot. So I actually do have a I have a buy sequence trade in NASDAQ over here, minute 25 to go. So let's go back to small size. Remember, the difference between conservative and aggressive is what? Whoever gives me the answer will get winner, winner, chicken dinner. Answer in comments. What's the difference between conservative and aggressive? What's the only difference between conservative and aggressive? What's the proper answer to that? Minute 4 seconds left here. Possible buy trigger here. Nobody wants to answer that for me? Come on, you bastards. Answer it. Oh, there we go. Myra gets, and William and everybody. Oh, you guys are okay. Very good. You guys, all of you guys get winner, winner, chicken dinner. Very nice. Size is the only thing that matters. Okay. Fabio, good job on that, by the way. Good job. Oh no, candle disappears. That's why the dots are beautiful. They either give us a signal or they don't, and when they don't, we don't fall for a false breakout. The best thing about the dots is they generally don't trap us into a false trade. Okay, so who's new here? Raise your hand. You want me to explain what I do so that you're not completely lost. Let me know. Let me know if you guys want to know, explain exactly what I do over here. Yes, no? Okay, red dot over here, by the way, in this. And if it stays a red dot, I'll short it because it's going to be a small entry size. I see a lot of me-me-me's. Okay, I will explain, guys. I will explain. I will explain literally as we trade. So within this setup, there are literally 3 key things that we're watching very carefully. First, the most static, the one that changes its values the least is trend. That's actually a good way of thinking about it. The most stable variable is trend, right? Trend right now is up. Blue above red, 8 above 200. That's how we define trend. Trend is up. It's actually very cool. I like that. So the most stable variable is trend, right? The second most stable variable is momentum. And momentum is defined by dots. The dots, these are momentum dots. The red ones tell you negative momentum. The green ones tell you positive momentum. Okay? So that's sort of like the second most stable element. And the third, least not stable, but sort of the one that changes the most, and the one is the final component of what we want to do, is slope, which is a fancy way of saying higher highs. The green dots have to be higher than the prior. The red dots have to be lower than the prior. Okay, that's it. That's all it is. I need lower lows on the red dots, higher highs on the green dots, slope wise, right? Just slopiness. Like you can almost see them by the eyeballs. We get 3 of those things, we're in game. We have actually a so what I'm doing now, I'm gonna short this, guys. Hang on. Let's see if this stays red. Yeah, short. Okay, I'm short. Let's see if this is gonna. Okay, I'm gonna eat this trade again. Yeah, looks like I am. This is the good example. Don't short a trend. Ooh, I'm really good. Wow, this is a lot of vol here. Holy cow! What time is it? Well, it's like 9:33. If I get clipped out, I deserve to be clipped out. All right. Um, I eat yet another counter trend trade. It's really it's kind of interesting to see, right? Every counter trend trade I'm doing, I'm getting my face handed to me. Because we're in a strong trend, and I'm taking the first bounce. I'm taking the most aggressive, dangerous trade, but I'm doing it in a super conservative way. I'm doing it at such small size that it's almost immaterial. It really doesn't matter. Although I have this is going to be a very painful trade because I have this feeling that it's stopped me out, and it's probably going to go down, but we'll see. We'll give it a shot. So you get those three things aligned, and of course, when I'm taking counter trend trades, by very definition, they're not allowed. And in this case, if you think about what I'm doing in a counter trend trade, I'm only satisfying one out of three of my conditions, just one, right? And Jenny, I do a lot of trades. It's not like I do one single buy, one single sell. As you can see, I've already done 5 trades or 4 trades on the thing. In our room, we trade very actively. So you miss one, it's like Florida weather. Just wait a minute, and the rain will disappear. There'll be a new one. Okay, so relax. We're not. Don't try to follow my trade. If you're new here, number one advice is don't try to follow my trades unless you're doing it on a demo account. I want you to learn the system, integrate the system, then practice it small, and then you can trade it. I will be doing, by the time we're done, we're probably going to do 10, 12 trades today. So, be chill. Don't worry about it. More trades will be coming. I'm looking for signals in gold. I'm even looking for signals in the S&P because we're trading small. We can afford to go across a lot of asset classes here to trade this. Is this like? I wonder if did this 57, 62? Yeah, S&P would have stopped me out too. I was just looking. They stopped me out basically on the bounces, but that's fine. Is there a reason I trade only on the 2-minute chart? In live trading, or 2 reasons why I trade the 2-minute chart. My own personality is very short-term based. I like trading short-term scalp trades, and we can talk about that. I'm going to give it like another 10, 15 minutes. We'll see the price action, do a little bit more trades, and then we'll talk a little bit about philosophy as to why I do it. There's a couple of reasons. One, it fits my personality, but it also I feel it controls my risk a lot better. I never by having small, clipping small trades, I'm able to really control my risk. And if we do this in an aggressive fashion, you can literally fund an account in 2 days using this approach because we're doing so many frequent trades. If we're doing them accurately, you can fund $25,000 account in 2 or 3 days. I'll show you the mathematics of this and how well it works soon. Right now, I'm just looking to see where the next trade setup comes in. Okay, what's going to be happening next? So right now, we're definitely positive trend. Markets really racing. The S&P is up 73 basis points. Gold is really down. So the other interesting thing is that gold is really down, and that's a super interesting story. Let me show you, by the way, a very cool thing about wealth charts, right? So you can go duplicate, right? First of all, wealth charts is totally web-based, so it's really cool because you can just trade from multiple browsers. But give me a sec. I think my internet needs to just be refreshed. Okay, so I'm gonna reload the thing. So what I want to show you is I'm gonna log in here. And so over here, I have NASDAQ. And in this tab, I can have gold, which is MGCQ, right? Gold August, right? And I can have my stops and targets for gold also all preset. And literally why that's so cool is you can trade multiple assets with multiple tabs, everything preset for you. The buy, sell button, everything is all preset. You are, you're doing nothing, nothing to change your chart before you trade. If you're a fast trader like I am, that's super cool. And not only is it like, you could have one or two tabs, but let's say you wanted to have the S&P, let's just do one more. Let's just do one more. So I'm going to duplicate chart. And by the way, you see how fast it is to set this up? Like all my templates, everything is all coming up. So I'm going to do this now, but now I'm going to just change MESU. I'm going to change it to September's S&P contract, right? And here's the other cool part. I'm going to set this up to 2 because that's such a small contract. It needs a little bit bigger size. And then we're going to go the brackets. And here the ticks are different. It's 4 ticks to 16 ticks, right? So the other thing is, one of the cool things you can see is that you can see my stops and targets just totally displayed here, so you guys can totally see it. So now I have 3 completely different instruments, and I could have 3 completely different instruments with 3 completely different strategies, with 3 completely different stops and completely different targets, all preset in this, in this way. Super easy to configure and run it. Lee, I'll double check. Okay, so anybody who has bought the pass the prop package, the package that you guys are seeing over here, by the way, oh, I know why, because you guys, wait, hold on a second. Why is this? Oh, I know why. Hold on, media assets. Okay, anybody who bought this particular package, right? That you have, and you have not gotten the wealth charts. The only way you can get wealth charts enabled with me is if you bought it this package. So if you bought it and you haven't done it, just email me with your email address, and I'll set that up. I will set that up. Okay, I promise you. All right, watching NAS, just one green dot. We need 2 green dots because we want to go for full slope. So, tempting as it is to kind of want to get long this trade, that's still not a signal for us. What's going on over here in gold is really running, but gold does not have our signal because it's already had the big move. Now I'm waiting for a retrace and possibly a second move, and that's going to give us another signal. S&P also first green dot on the print. We can trade the S&P here, by the way, also as a I really like that asset to trade in this particular strategy. Jenny, if you're interested in the package, I'm just going to put a link right now in here. But remember that the package I'll buy you a couple of free prop accounts. So it's not explicitly said that, but you have my word here, as many people have know that I honor all my words. I make that offer. I will buy you free prop accounts. I'll give you credit so you can buy them yourself. Actually, that's the best way to do it. So at the very minimum, you're going to be able to get 2, maybe even 3 $25,000 prop accounts if you get this deal right now today. I'm watching this chart here. This is the S&P. This has all the components, the 3 components we want. We have positive trend, positive momentum, positive slope, but we got to see the candle close at this level, and let's see if it's going to work it for us. Rising slope by its very implicitly means rising trend. Okay, if you're in a positive trend, rising, you see how trend will implicitly eye by rising slope. So you don't need to worry about the trend. You just need to worry about the slope. You just keep an eye. I made it very simple. If you keep the eye on the dots, everything else should follow, right? So like right now, 14 seconds left. Looking at the 2 dots, looking at the positive trend. We just need them to hold. If this holds, we're going to try and go long here. 2 seconds, 1 second, it went away. No trade. See, no trade, no play, and that's fine. The only thing you need to be successful with this setup is suppress your FOMO and suppress, the rush to judgment. RTJ, no RTJ, no rush to judgment, which I am, notoriously bad at. But I've really gotten very, very good at it. You know why? Because once you realize that if you trust the dots, trust the dots, then you just trade the dots, and the process itself will inevitably, take you to a profit road. Someone, is there live wealth charts trading, Lee? I'll ask Rob. There must be some. I'm sure they are. They're very, very good. They're really, really good at customer service. Yeah. I guess go to person all day. Thank you. That's GFAS. That's not a question for the general public. Okay, that's only for people who are my past the prop. That's by the way, one of the little things about the cool thing about when you join Past the Prop and you join coaching, we have like a little bit more advanced version of this indicator that helps just give you even better. It's not that it gives you different signals; it just makes the visualization a little bit better for you. My friend Nasdaq is giving me another counter trend signal. Okay, I'm gonna go. Should I go 3 times in a row and get myself stopped out? All right, we're gonna try this. I'm gonna go small. I don't care. We'll go small. Let's see if I'm wrong 3 times in a row on my counter trend signals today. So again, red dot in a positive trend. The most dangerous thing you can do, go against the crowd. But in this case, I actually did succeed. I think. Did it hit me? Yeah, I did. I did succeed. So three times is a charm, right? I got a little bit of that back. We'll keep watching the markets. Let's see what else is setting up. Gold is just not giving us any signals because it's just sort of very mature in its move. Oh, hey, our friend S&P. Look at that. We may have 2 green dots. Let's watch it carefully. Will it give us a signal? Let's see. Nope. We had a big run, through the opening range. By the way, guys, so one of the things that I'm thinking about, I'm not even thinking about it, I'm pretty certain I'm going to do it. As I'm speaking. So this is see this red dot over here in the S&P? If that held, that would be a counter trend sell. So basically, I have 4 setups: trend buy, trend sell, counter trend buy. In each one of them, obviously, there's a little bit of a variation on the dot theme. And when I'm taking the counter trend sell, okay, I'm short. With counter trend sell on Nasdaq, single red dot, and my target is going to be, 4 ticks. Let's see if we can make it. Let's see if we can make it. I have to. I have to expand this thing so much because this is such a. Oh, there we go. I think we made it. There we go. You see a little X mark, and we made it on the S&P. So one aspect of trading conservative is that you can actually spread your wings a little bit. You can trade more instruments because the size is so small that you can, first of all, have plenty of margin for any repair trades across all those instruments. But 2, you're just not double or triple extended on any position. So this was a pretty cool trade. By the way, the Nasdaq trade also gave us I just took the S&P, but the Nasdaq trade also gave us a turn to the other side, right? Although, didn't I take it over here? Oh, I took it over here. Sorry, never mind. I already made money on Nasdaq. Yeah, never mind. I already made money on Nasdaq, and now I made money on the S&P. Just waiting to see if we kind of consolidate and maybe create a another buy signal over here. That's correct, Lee. That's correct. So let's talk about that. So Lee's saying you got to win 5 actually. In order to be profitable, you got to be you have to have 5 out of 6, right? If there's 6 trades, you win 5. Is that right? Yeah. I always forget the fractions. 6 trades, you win 5, you lose 4, you plus 1, right? Which is that's really what I do. So remember, the trading system is a little bit more sophisticated than just simply doing win, lose, win, lose, win, lose. Specifically because it's a very, very high probability. There's something called probability, obviously, which is simple straight up fractions, and there's something called conditional probability. Conditional probability is what is the question that we ask in the room all the time is, what's the risk of 2 consecutive trade signals being wrong? So one trade signal is wrong, and statistically we know that's usually a 5 out of 6 win. So in and of itself, it's a winning trade, right? However, the possibility of, and it has to be a setup. It cannot be just me randomly trading. But if it is, what's the possibility of 2 consecutive trade setups being wrong? Literally, I haven't fully tested this, but I think it runs like 1 out of 100 maybe. I have to go back over the weekend. Maybe I'll do a little bit more research because it's actually quite hard to find 2 consecutive losers. And then if you want to go if you want to go larger in terms of your probability scale, what's the sequence of 3 consecutive losers being there? And then it becomes like 1 out of 300. So what we're trading is not the first probability, but we're trading actually the second probability, meaning that you already saw me repair 1 trade, right? And now I'm gonna try to repair that second loss. Because what happens is, if I am able to repair the loss, then all 4 of those trades become winners. Not just, I don't need to have 5 out of 6. I basically get all those back. So then you just simply add it, and you have like 20 winning trades a day. Very small, albeit, because you're trading small, but 20 winning trades really adds up very quickly to your P&L target, right? So it's not, and this is something that we teach with much greater, description in coaching. It's not just the high probability. It's the super high conditional probability that we're trying to trade, which is why, we're able to pass so many props. That's the game. I mean, the game we play is, are we able to pass the prop? And of course, you guys know I have like 8 or 9 of them passed, but that really doesn't matter. It's not what I have. It's what everybody else in the coaching has. And literally almost, I think every single coaching student I have has already passed at least 1 or 2, but many have passed like 6 or 7 or 8. And that's my job, because what's the point of doing this if you can't pass the test? And it's a hard test. It's harder to pass the prop than to get into the Ivy League college. More people fail props than get into Harvard. Although it's I don't consider it to be a badge of honor to get into Harvard these days. I consider it to be a badge of embarrassment. But anyways, that's the point. Yeah. So, in a little bit of a sell-off, normal. What I was going to say is, I want to know. Let's do a little bit of a poll. I'll ask you guys for a poll, but I really have a very biased view on this. Should we start trading 9:45 New York to 11 New York, or 9:15 New York to 10:15 New York? All right, here's your choice. Depending how you guys vote, I'll try to rejigger it. My personal view, not that I want to skew the poll, which of course I do, is that I think trading the New York Open is actually a kind of a crappy opening range. Like the best timed horizon for continuity trades and enough liquidity for us to to get to target is actually after the New York Open, where we pass most of the stupid volatility into like the 11 o'clock, 11:30 hour when European markets close. So I'd like to know your opinion on this. But people say the West Coast people, of course, are going to vote for later. But it's less to do with sort of like what's convenient for you, which of course I appreciate, but more important with what's optimal time for the market to give us winning setups. That's really what I'm looking for. And I think the market is going to give us more winning setups a little bit later, past the open, than now. So let me know. Let me know what you think. Yeah. So for some people it is late. I'll be honest with you guys. Listen, I was in Cyprus all of last week, and the market doesn't start until like 3:30 in the afternoon. Which for me was great. I loved it. I was up like early in Cyprus. Early Cyprus morning is European morning. There's so many good trades European morning for prop. My other account here, my TradeAway account, I'll show this to you. I haven't traded this. Let me see if you guys see it. I'm like less than $200 away from target here on that TradeAway. And that one, I literally started the week of the show. I think I started this account maybe just before I got on the plane, and I was just trading it, as a little side gig in the hotel. So the European session is a great session to trade. Great session to trade. Yes, futures trade 23 hours a day. The only time the futures close is between 5 p.m. and 6 p.m. New York, which is 4 p.m. and 5 p.m. Chicago. I'm always confused. So basically, they close for 1 hour. CME just kind of closes all of its servers, does a full reconciliation of the day's trades, and then reopens the overnight session. And the party keeps on going. There's just 1 hour a day when futures close. So it's not, it's totally doable. G5 says, New York win ratio is far higher from 10 to 11:30. Opening half hour is crapshoot for me. I think you could just get rid of the word shoot, and that would be a pretty good expression. It's just crap. It's not like we didn't have setups, but obviously we had to struggle a couple of times, especially on the counter trend ones. The trend ones were fine. The trend ones worked. I'm trying to look to see what's going on here across all the other assets. So what do we have? Gold is great, but it's just not giving us a setup. It's just really rocking all the way up there. I'm actually looking. So when gold, if I can get a gold counter trend setup, gold counter trend setup means a setup against trend is going to be a red dot. My first red momentum dot here in a pretty strong gold trend move. I'm going to play it. We'll see how it goes. S&P pretty much mirroring NASDAQ. So not much going on over here. So, we have a little time. We can discuss the mathematics of passing the prop, and let's use a $25,000 account and then the $50,000 account as kind of like the examples. So $25,000 account requires $1,500 to win. And you can subdivide. Let's imagine we're trading either $100 trades or $10 trades. So if you're doing micro lots, small size, you're going to do $10 trades. Because the way we do it is we target 5 points in NASDAQ, which on a micro position, $2 times 5 is $10, or on a mini position is $100. So if you're trading on a, oh, I just lost my, okay. If you're trading at $100 per opening trade, your opening hand is a $100 bet. You only need 15 bets to win. But as we all know, it's almost impossible, as good as the dots strategy is, to get 15 winning trades in a row, right? That's almost impossible. You do have a very, very high chance of doing, couple of winning trades, then you get a losing trade, then you quintuple or quadruple your position and try to repair it. Sort of second conditional trade, as long as you're trading the setup and kind of rewashing it. So if you are super aggressive, you make $100 trades, you probably can get funded within a day, certainly within 2 days, because if you resolve every one of your losses with a second trade win, it's a net equal. So it's not like you make extra money, but you get all that money back and you just move on. And especially if you're trading like, 10, 12 hours in one day, you certainly can do it, because generally, as you can see, we get a true setup. That is a setup that gives us a signal between every 15 to 30 minutes per hour. So between 2 to 3 signals per instrument per hour. So if you're doing like a 10-hour, trading cycle, or just you coming in, coming out, it's not at all impossible to fund the account, 25,000 on one single day. On 50,000, it would require 3,000. That would be a real stretch to do. But maybe it'll take you 2 to 3 days. But you could certainly do it in that way. But you'd have to be super disciplined, take only the setups as they present themselves, and not get into the second trade blowout, which sometimes can happen. So that's if you did it aggressively. And that's actually not a bad way. I really think that's the way to do it for accounts that you want to get funded. Because the whole idea of getting your account funded is to get it fast. You just want to get through the funding stage fast and then go into trading, effectively real money. What am I looking at? Gold. Gold counter trend sell. Gold counter trend sell. Let's go look at gold. Oh, gold. Sell, baby, sell. Let's do it. All right. So first of all, with gold, we're trading. This is the same. Now I'm trading, $10. Oh, and I'm done. Look at that. Look how fast that was. Isn't that nice? By the way, this is the reason why anybody who's new, I'm telling you not to follow me. The setups that we trade, sometimes they can take minutes, sometimes even 20, 30 minutes to resolve. But very often they take less than 5 seconds to resolve. And you need to know it in the back of your mind. It's like if it's setting up, that's why we have counters. That's why we have all these prompts to help you make sure that you're in the trade instantaneously. Because if the trade is going to work, sometimes it works in 3 or 4 seconds and you're done. There's nothing more fun than making $300-400 in 5 seconds. It's a huge rush, but it's also not as much fun to lose it the other way around. But this is the one setup that will definitely give you that opportunity all the time. At least probably, I would say at least between 5 and 7 times a day, this setup could give you the chance to make $400 in less than 5 seconds because the speed of the market is such. But that's really not what it's about. I mean, the point being is that you need to just really incorporate the setup mentally and physically in your head before you kind of do this, because you see me how fast I reacted and how fast I got it. So I totally lost my train of thought. Oh, we're talking about $50,000 account on aggressive, $100 trades, 30 trades, doing in this kind of repair fashion. The next step, which is when you're funded, right? This is the funded account over here that I haven't even started yet. I'm waiting to try. I'm trying to fund this account, and then we'll run both of them in a funded fashion. That's up to you and whether you want to risk losing it. My view with funded accounts is there is no time limit. There is no, once you pay the money, you never have to pay any more money for it. There's no maintenance or upkeep. It's not in any way, shape, or form a cost factor to you. And for you to trade it super aggressively is just simply to waste all that money you spent trying to get to that level and getting accredited at that level. Because remember, you have to pay two fees. You have to pay the entrance fee for the evaluation, and then you have to pay the lifetime fee for the funded account. And to just burn the funded account, like, in a week because you're trading large size, I think is the wrong attitude. A lot of people like to do this because they just want to, if they're right, they're going to get paid out right away. And that's not a bad strategy. But then you have to understand that you're going to be doing lots and lots of burns and few occasional big windfall payouts. And you hope that all those payouts kind of, pay for your burns. But if you want to do a much more sustained and more intelligent model, and one, by the way, that I think one of the problems is that I think this whole idea of slash and burn approach, I'm going to just buy a lot of accounts, press all my funded accounts, and then see what pays out on kind of a lottery ticket approach. Apex is really starting to clamp down on that, and rightly so, because it's not what they're in the business for. And they're not in the business of paying out lottery tickets. They're in the business of funding long-term sustained traders, because ultimately what they want to do is they want to move you to live and trade with you on the live. But so if you have that approach, then your funded account should be traded super small, because the function of the funded account is not to get paid out right away. It's to stay alive for years, because if you stay alive for years, you're virtually assured multiple payouts. But most people kill themselves within the first 5 days. So that's sort of like, my view on how you can go in terms of managing your approach. Yeah. I think Asia is more profitable for the kind of stuff, because Asia tends to have a lot more of these type of setups. Like New York can be very, very, remember when we're sort of very streaky like this, we don't, we just have to wait and pause. We don't really have a lot of stuff. Asia tends to have move, counter move, move, counter move, move, counter move. And if you're trading trend, counter trend, you tend to have a lot more opportunities. At 50,000, I was $100 away from blowing it yesterday. I got it to 52.6 yesterday. Sorry. Did you recover it, or is this now? So you were almost ready to blow it, and now you're at 52.60.50. Just trading patiently, right, Fabio? Trading the setup patiently, trading the dots patiently, trading 1 micro. Look at 1 micro. 1 micro. Look at that. Good for you. So basically trading $10 trades, he completely recovered his account. And that's the moral of the story. I'd love to hear more from all of you guys, because I think that's the essence of being a great prop trader. That's what we're all about. Really good job, Fabio. Nice job. Fabio gets the chickens. Yes, the chickens. Very nice. Winner chicken dinner. Really, really nice. Good job. All right, I'm watching to see what else is going on here. We just sort of, ramp up, ramp down, which is nice, but that doesn't. The way I'm trading, which is super conservative, doesn't give me lots and lots of different ways. Having said this, though, of course, there's so many traders in the room that can trade this super aggressively by literally taking every single dot signal. If you look at the framework, what I'm talking about, which is trend, momentum, and slope, right? If you're going to counter trend, I just take the first counter trend, but you could have taken this one and this one and this one and this one. You could have buried this thing for the next 5 trades into 5 winning trades very, very aggressively on the press. Obviously, that requires what I call a V-shaped move, where you go up like this and down like that. If you have that kind of a sustained up, sustained down, you could hit all the green dots, then hit all the red dots. It's just that, that's not a common pattern. The V-shaped pattern is really, really lucrative for what we do, but not very common. But if you want to trade, if you sort of say, I'm going to be a high risk trader that's just going to trade the V-shaped pattern and dots, for like $100 trade per dot, both on the upside and the downside, you basically like here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Did this one get done? 2, 9, yeah, 9. I think this one turned. This one, no, maybe this one actually gets done. What is this close? Close is. Wait, hold on. Was it close on this one? 120, and how high was this? Yeah, 130. Yeah, this one gets done. This one gets done the other way. So it's like 11, 12, 13, 14. You could have had 15 winning trades. But you also, if this was not a V-shaped, if this was chop, 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 if it was a Z-shaped chop, you would have really gotten killed. Oh, I think I have a gold signal here. Let me see what I have. Yeah, okay, so here we're looking at gold. Second green dot in gold could give us a trend buy signal. So we traded the counter trend sell. Now we're going to try a trend buy if this thing holds. If this thing holds. Let's see how it plays out. That's okay, KP. That happens. But my suggestion to everybody who is, $500 away or $200 away from target, whatever target, whether it's payout or funded, is to go small like I am right now. You see how even when I'm wrong, I'm not stressed. That's the advantage. 38 seconds left on this trade. This is a trend buy signal in gold that I'm just hunting. Let's see if we can get a play here. Yeah. Yeah, because, they're not interested, like, they don't like it. As I said, they're also getting, remember, there's a lot of people like to cheat. So many people on the internet like to cheat. I really hate that. Okay, long. So, oh, shoot. Oh, God damn it. I'm sorry, guys. Flat. I'm so sorry. I'm wrong on this. Okay, bye. Jesus Christ. I'm talking. I can't talk and shoot at the same time. That should have been a long, not a short. So I took a wrong position. Now I'm long. Not as good a price as I should have been because I wasn't paying attention. But I think I got done, right? I think I got done on my long. Yes. See, this is a good example. When you're trading the right setup, even when you fuck up, you get done. So first of all, just by the way, notice this, guys. I've kind of winnowed down my losses without even having the repair trade yet. NASDAQ is just not giving me any kind of repair trade signal yet. But all the other trades have really worked so well that I've been able to to winnow it down. I don't even have to get large. But if I do get large, that's going to be like 50, and this whole thing is going to turn totally positive into basically I'll get up to myself up to 26,000 on the balance, which I'll do. I'll certainly try and do before the end of the day. So I lost my train of thought now. I forgot what I was talking about. KP. So yeah, my point is, if you're within $500 of target, what everybody wants to do is just get large and kill it. That's okay if you're going for funded, because it's it's $25. If you win or lose, just get it fast in there. But I think if you're in the funded stage, remember, the payout shouldn't be a target for the first week. It should be a target for the first year. If you say, I want to get one payout in my first year, just reorient yourself mentally. Your chance of actually getting a payout is going to increase exponentially. That's the key thing to how this. Oh yeah, and Keith was saying that he was saying that Keith was saying that Apex has started approaching a lot of people because they're seeing a lot of people cheat the system. One Apex executive told me that they had one customer had 4,000 accounts, that he blew, and just and that's clearly somebody who is just gambling on one side. If he gets past, he's gambling with the other side, trying to get the payout. He's just trying to figure out how much money can I burn in my fees versus how much money can I make in lottery tickets on payouts. And that's not the business they're in. I totally, if I was them, I would do the exact same thing. I tell them to go blow, because it's not trading. You're just trying to cheat. You're just trying to overwhelm the system with lucky breaks. And you're basically hoping that the amount of money you burn on the unlucky, it's kind of like buying the whole lottery. You're just buying the whole lottery. And it's a lot easier, creating momentum. It's a lot easier to beat the system like that on prop accounts than it is in the lottery. Because lottery, it's 1 out of a billion chance. Here, it's a 50-50 chance that that you're going to hit a huge winner. And you just keep doing that. If you take 100 chances on a 50-50 bet, you're going to pay out. And that's bullshit. That's really not what that's intended to do. So, anyways, I don't want to rant and rave about that, but it's my approach is not only, I think, so much more viable on a long-term basis, but it is 100% kosher for every single prop firm out there, but most importantly for Apex, right? It's like the Hebrew National commercial, we're kosher. We answer to a higher authority. So my trading systems work on every single trade strategy precisely because they don't game the system. I got a green dot, red dot in gold. Let me sell that. Right? All right, let's sell it here. Again, this is a counter trend signal, not nearly as accurate as a trend signal, but we're going to take it. We're just going to. I'm going to take these tiny little counter trend signals, mostly to sort of show you different ways that you could think and trade about these ideas, and we're done again. Good. So if you think about this, we've had multiple. I can't even count how many. First of all, how many trades we did. I forgot who came in here. Janet. Was it Janet who came in earlier and said, is there a buy? I'm like, my friend, there'll be 1,000 buys and there'll be 1,000 sells. So I think we already did like 10, 11 trades. I already lost count, and really only just one blow up. I mean, actually, no, I take it back. We had 2 blow ups, 2 stop outs, no blow ups. Let's use the proper terminology. 2 stop outs, what is this? Oh, hang on a second, guys. Bear with me a sec. Let's try this. Oh, guys, this is really cool. Okay, I've just noticed in StreamYard, like when you guys post a comment, now, before it used to be where I have to like manually select your comment. Now your comments will start to pop up on the screen. Let's see let's see how that works out, because that's actually pretty good, because I can focus on trading and not putting your comments on the screen. All right, now of course nobody's commenting, so nothing is going up. But that's kind of a cool little beta thing. Let's see if that works. Oh, see. I have had 0 problems with them. And you see me, I'm trading right now. There's like, there's no issue. I don't know how much faster we need an execution. We're not hyperactive. And I've had it, we don't have 1 green dot on NQ. NQ does not. Yeah, you're right. We don't have 1 single green dot on NQ. NQ has just been completely. No, there was 1 green dot here, which, by the way, I actually missed, and that probably wouldn't have worked. Let me see. Did the NQ? Yeah, NQ had a no. Oh, no, we had 1 green dot over here. Right. Oh, sorry. I now I'm completely I completely lost my mind. I was like, I wouldn't have never. This is not a counter trend trade. This is we're in a positive trend. I wouldn't have taken. That's why it didn't alert me. I'm like, why didn't it alert me? Because it's not the right trade. They did GFOS. They Wealth Charts did upgrade the server a while back. Oh, is this? I'm actually curious. Is this showing up on? Oh, it is showing up. That's kind of, is that cool, guys? You guys like seeing your comments go up there like that? This is really cool, right? What do you think about that little StreamYard function? That's really cool. I like everybody can see the comments running up, and I can just answer them without me freaking freaking talking. Oh, this is really cool. I really like that. And they're very demure. They're like sort of out to the side, so they're not really bothering. Everybody, you can see the P&Ls and everything else. Like you see all the primary action on the chart here really well. So that's really very cool. I'm digging it. I am digging it. Nice. Yeah. The only thing I think we need to do, which I think I'm going to do, is I'm going to put the banners, all the banner stuff on the left-hand side of the aisle. Because the way Wealth Charts lays out, everything is on the right-hand side centric. So then we'll put the links and banners on the other side. Yes, possible. Let's see what's going on in the S&P. This is the first green dot. We need 2 green dots on the S&P. Watching the S&P here. Oh yeah, hold on. Sorry, why is? Oh, I know it. Okay, I'm looking. It's actually, yes, the S&P itself is giving me a signal. We're gonna go long this signal because this is the problem with them looking at it on the micro charts, and we always take our signals off the S&P. So this signal is actually a legit buy signal if it holds on the green dot here. 3, 4, 2, 1, long. Right, I'm long. I'm long S&P. I'll explain to you why, guys, in just 1 second. Remember that. Let's see if this. What's my target on this? 49. 49 on the target. Let's see if this does it. The micro contract has tiniest, and then we're done. We're done on the. You see that we got the little X, and we're done on the trade. So actually, very, very good, guys. We managed to, by the way, completely reverse all of my counter trend law. Basically, if I traded trend only with you guys, all the trades would have been winners. The only losers were counter trend trades, and I haven't even repaired them yet. Like I still have like that large trade in the back of my pocket, which I will do, when I get the opportunity in Nasdaq. But what I was going to say is, I'm trading micros with you to show you small size, but on the other screen, I actually have the true signal, which is coming from the mini accounts. Occasionally, I would say 1 out of 10 times, the dots will be different on the micros versus minis because there's tiny variations in execution and pricing. And these variations, because we're trading on such small term charts, 2-minute charts, actually will create a little bit different configurations. We're always taking our cues and signals from the big contract because that's where all the price action is. That's where institutional money trades. That's what sets the proper tone for direction. And we're executing on the micro because we're doing smaller size. So the point being is that, first of all, have more than one screen. That's my number one. But number two, always look for the signals on the large contract. And if you want to trade on the small, execute on the small contract if you want to. But never trust the small contract signals as being real, because sometimes they're not. They're really not. So anyways, that was good. We repaired that. Everything kind of worked really, really well. Well, yeah, Lee. So that's what I'm saying to you, Lee, that I changed the rules. We used to have one green, one red. Now my rule is just the first red in an uptrend, first green in a downtrend is my counter trend buy, counter trend sells, right? I jump on the first. You clearly see that I get clipped, right? You clearly see you get it's not as accurate. However, you get more opportunities, which means you get more possible winning trades. And if you're trading like I am on a second pair repair on a conditional probability, you will hopefully, you hope to recover that, and then it just adds to your, to the thing. Because like right now, if I'm going to repair the trade, the whole P&L goes like net 50, 60 positive in a matter of like less than half an hour, right? That's it. That's how it works. So hopefully that makes sense to everybody, and you guys are getting a vibe on the whole play. Speaking of which, here, counter trend sell, right? The red dot this is S&P, counter trend sell, 15 seconds. Do we want to play this? We're going to wait. We're going to wait. It's a big move here to the downside. But again, this is very, very aggressive. All the counter trend trades are super aggressive in this particular structure, but they're trading in a super conservative size. So sell. Let's see if I can get it. What's my target? And I can't even see my target here. And I'm done. And my target is done. See, the aggressive part is you take many, many more trades. The conservative part is you take such small size that you're not really impacted by it. Yeah, it did. And that's GFIs. That's the whole point of the scalp. The scalp is, the idea is, if you go for the smallest possible trade, you will get it done like 95% of the time. That's the whole idea, right? The idea is that if you're not greedy, you'll get paid. But the greedier you are, the rarer you get paid. The less greedy you are, the more you'll get paid. That's why that trade got done, boom, very quickly. I love trading. I'll be honest with you guys. I love trading the S&P off charts. I trade the S&P. I'm talking about the big contract, the $50 trades all the time. It's an excellent instrument for this particular super aggressive counter trend strategy and regular confirmatory trend strategy. What it does, the whole idea here is it just generates almost twice as many signals. If you look at this, we just generated 1, 2, 3, 4 signals in the S&P, right? Whereas in the other setup, we'd only have 2 of them. So if you can repair or make money on all of them, you'd be in great shape. And I would have made money also on NASDAQ. The only problem, by the way, with sort of doing all of this so aggressively is that you just don't have the bandwidth to take all the trades. This would have been a winner in NASDAQ and a winner in the S&P, right? But you have to choose one or the other because you can only do one trade at a time. Otherwise, you're stretching yourself too thin. Kevin is where's Kevin? Kevin had a question here. Let me see. So Kevin was asking, is this an upgrade showing my buys and exits? No. That's I simply turned that on in wealth charts. That's a regular function of wealth charts, just to make it easier for people to follow all my trades. So that, it's just for full transparency and also just easier to follow. Especially because I'm trading a lot more and I'm trading smaller contracts. I just wanted to leave it on the charts. Do you guys like that? I mean, I hope you like that, right? I mean, I can always get rid of it, but I figured it'd be easier if people just sort of like, while I'm chatting, you guys, you come to the, you haven't been here, or maybe you came in late. You're like, oh, it's interesting. You took this one, I took this one, I took this one. It's interesting what happened. Because this tells you the narrative without me having to repeat it every 5 seconds. And you like that, Kevin? Cool. All right, let's see what the it's actually tighter results of the poll than I thought, but everybody seems to be not everybody, but the majority seems to be convinced that they want to go to the 9:45 11 time frame. So Monday, we're going to be regular time because we're piggybacking off Kathy. But Tuesday through Thursday, we'll probably go to 9:45 to 11. You see how many, by the way, you see how much better trades there were. Even like where do we get stopped out in the first fucking half hour of the trade, right? We got stopped out on the open. That's we'll just complete fucking waste of our time. I love the open. It's super exciting. Everybody gets really, really interested. But it's from a trading point of view, the most bullshit time in the world to trade. It's literally sucker hour. And I want to trade professional hour. And professional hour is 9:45 to 11. So let's do that. Let's trade professional hour Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week. I'll rejigger the times. Give it a shot. See how well we do. We're already doing very, very well on structure and stuff. You notice, by the way, that sorry guys, I gotta sneeze again. Oh god. I was sneezing anyway. I was sneezing in Cyprus, sneezing in Florida. Like, it's just hopeless, man. Allergies just never leave you alone. By the way, man, Cyprus, so beautiful. And 1,000 street cats, just like every other, Mediterranean, Middle Eastern city. So many beautiful cats. Such gorgeous places. Yeah, Lee, we used to trade this on a 1 minute chart. It's not as accurate. It's, you get the big rush, you get a lot more signals, you think you're smart, but then you're going to start blowing up a little bit more. The 2 minute chart gives you just paces you a little bit more. Remember, it's a game of pace. We all want to sprint, but it's a marathon. And so, you want to be running 5 minute miles. You don't want to be sprinting, the first 10 seconds. So that's sort of, our approach to this. Sorry, guys. Just par for the course. But anyways, yeah, that's the case. All right. Okay. Well, we managed to do well, guys, by doing good. We're at 20. Where's my bet? Oh, look at this. We're at 26. Look at that. I did bring it up to 26. Still have the repair back in my pocket. Trying to run this at 26.5. We'll see. Maybe hopefully we'll get this by next week. There'll be a second funded account, and then we're just going to run the fundeds. I think at that point, I have a couple more trade events that I want to fund, and then I think we're just going to run the fundeds for a while to go into that more tempered phase. So the big takeaway today is the difference between conservative and aggressive approaches is only one thing: size. The setup is the same. The key thing is, if you want to be a good trader, your setup has to be consistent. The only difference in being aggressive, conservative is just simply what size you want to use on that setup. And hopefully that helps you, keep your mind clear and clean. Notice I only took I did no bullshit trades today at all. Zero cowboy trades, right? So that really worked out much better. Okay. Everybody have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, guys. Any final questions? Anything else on your mind? Let me put up the links again. Let me put up the links for everything. You guys want my, you want past the prop? Here's the link for that. And if you want Apex, very, very important. Apex is now, I believe, 80% off. Yeah. No. Yeah, Apex is 80% off. A beautiful, beautiful, beautiful opportunity for everybody. Go out there, go get them. Go get them. Okay. Thank you so much. I love this floating comments. It makes it so much easier for everybody to see how we go. And anybody need anything, just email me. I'll try to take care of it today. Thank you guys. A lot of fun. Everybody have a great, great day. I'll see you guys on Monday. Take care.